Hey, what's up, guys? Happy Sunday night or Monday morning. Whenever you catch the Monday market report, I just want to let you guys know that this is for you. I know you guys appreciate these market reports. This is the OG. This is the original right here. Today in this video, we are going to talk about the most relevant modern graded coins for the week ending October 3rd, 2021. There's a lot to get excited about this show, ladies and gentlemen. For the first time in quite a while, and I know we've seen some tremendous bangers from great collections over the summer, but I am going to say that today's video and the recap of some of those big sales from the last 7 days from great collections, this is probably the most on fire just set of coins I'm going to talk about today. We have 18 total lots in full display. They're all pretty awesome. I mean, you guys saw the thumbnail. I mean, 3 Lincoln cents, very modern. You guys see the dates. That total over $28,000 is just simply insane. Is the market cooling off? It really does not look like that, especially on the modern side of things. We're seeing kind of like this, I don't know. It was a resurgence that was expected, because the fall season is really just the burgeoning point of the collectibles market, most specifically coins and currency. People have finally after about 2 years taken the summer off, been on vacation, and a lot of these dealers, these collectors, these high profile deep pockets registry set owners have come back and they have opened their wallets today on this show. So if this is your first time here, I appreciate you guys. Come on down, checking it out. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed today's video. Share the video as well, and don't forget to subscribe. Your endorsement means a whole lot. I think we just crossed 210,000 subscribers. Who would have thought from a basic old coin collecting channel? But I've been around for 12 years, and thank you guys for all your support. It means the world to me. I reflect back and look back every single day. I read every single comment. Yeah, I can't respond to every single one because I literally get 400 to 500 comments on all my videos. But there's another way to get a hold of us. If you are at all curious as to what you have in your collection, our email is info@livecoinqa.com. That is our interactive, fully interactive, 100% interactive panel of coin people. We are 8 to 10 people deep. We take your questions, we look at your images, and then we try and do something for you. As of today, for as long as we've been out as a collective, we have personally lent a hand to a lot of folks that have found new discoveries. We have also helped people that have found some incredible kind of like white whale coins as well. That 69S that we talked about a few months ago, was out in the marketplace and is going to sell for a lot of money. So there you go. We help, and we want people to have these tremendous wins. We want you to send us your coin questions, and then we're going to talk about them on our Monday live streams. So go check it out. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a stroll down Great Collections Boulevard and check out the first amount of listings, starting out with the Lincoln cents. The Lincoln cents have definitely won the day for sure. I would say I was most shocked by the overall results. Kind of wish I saw more of the Lincoln Memorial series. But in all reality, some of these more modern type of Lincoln Wheat cents, some of the higher mintage coins like this one, for example, a 54p on the list. And the price will shock you. This one right here, ladies and gentlemen, of course, it's going to be probably more geared towards that registry set person. I would never invest in something like this in spite of its grade and how low the pops are. But it's a PCGS Mint State 67 full red example that you see here. I mean, it's a great looking coin. It will make that Lincoln Cent registry participant extremely happy because this is going to get them a lot of points. This one right here sold for a staggering amount of money, $7,593.75. What a heck of a way to kick off this Monday market report. And by the way, it's for the week ending October 3rd. This is our first one for the month of October. I'd say we are in like full holidays mode. Let's go ahead and get it. The next one that we have here, a little bit tougher, but keep in mind, this is also a 54, also produced at the Philadelphia Mint. However, this one is a proof strike. Now, some of you may not be aware, but proof sets from 54 and possibly even 55 and older, they begin to get kind of scarce. For example, just over 233,000 sets of the 1954 proof strikes were made from the Philadelphia Mint. So there's not a whole lot. And to make matters worse, or even more challenging, not worse really, but this is a really great set to cherry pick if you're able to find it. It's kind of speculated that less than 200 of these sets exhibit some coins with either ultra cameo or deep cameo contrast. Oftentimes, you're going to come across these coins and they're not going to have that really strong frosted devices. They're all going to be completely mirrored, and those are mostly some of the more common kind of appearances that you'll find on these older proof sets. And that's why this one, ladies and gentlemen, in a proof 69 red ultra cameo, and it's also NGC graded, managed to pull off $11,530.12. The stakes are huge when you are dipping your toes into the older proof sets of the 40s and 50s. Most specifically, anything pre-1960 is going to be an incredibly valuable coin if you're able to find the deep cameo contrast. So again, you need those frosty, beautiful devices, the letters, Abraham Lincoln, all of the devices need to be frosted, and it contrasts perfectly against the just drippy black, kind of like a solid, quiet lake. You come across a lake with not a ripple in the water, and that's what this looks like. So when you combine both together, that's what they call eye appeal. And because of that, they are quite coveted. And especially on a Lincoln set, it's only one of the most widely collected series in US coins. So make sure you look out for stuff like this. And I would even say that you could easily cherry pick coins from 1960s proof sets. Deep cameo contrast coins are not too common in those specific dates as well. So there's a couple different places where you can try and cherry pick something really nice. All right, another high minted common date Lincoln. If you were trying to look for a 1940D Lincoln wheat cent in a nice mint state red example just to throw in an album, you could easily find one for under $2-3. They're quite affordable in today's market. However, when you're sitting there going through a bunch of mint state brilliant examples, trying to find that one kind of like really that unique scarce example that has just incredible eye appeal, it's got a strong heavy strike and no nicks or scratches or anything on there, then that's what registry set owners want. They want that example that you've spent all this time, all this effort, and possibly all that money, because finding BU rolls of this particular date is not exactly cheap. Now, it's a PCGS Mint State 68 red, and I believe it's the finest grade possible for this particular date. So with that in mind, this one had managed to sell for $9,506.25. Again, this is a coin that's geared more towards the registry set. Folks, don't ever try and invest in something like this. It's extremely volatile. If another one comes out into the marketplace or another one's graded in the 68, that will affect the overall market and value of these coins in a negative way. So that's why I would say don't invest your hard-earned money in something like this already graded. Just leave these for the registry set folks. They love them. Okay, now, realistically, we are getting into what I would consider to be some tougher dates. Now, this one right here is kind of threading that needle between tough date, earlier Lincolns to what I would consider to be just much more available to find out there. It's a 35S, San Francisco minted coin. It's a PCGS Mint State 67 red, still an incredibly high grade on this coin. and this one sold for $4,950. Again, the money is just incredible on some of these Lincoln cents this week. This is another one you could add to the list. Now, this is probably one of the key dates I would say can be obtained or found in high grades because it's a 31S. During this time, people that were in the hobby knew the 31S was going to be a low mintage coin, and that's why the survivability rate of this coin in grades in mint state is so high. You know, kind of like the 38D Buffalo nickel. People knew that the new Jefferson nickel was coming out, so people began hoarding that last date of Buffalo nickel, and they all seem to be out there in the marketplace in such high grades. This is another one right here. It's very rare to see a 31S in grades lower than about XF40. There's just not a whole lot of them out there. Yeah, well, you will have much better success trying to find one in like mid-state 62 or 63. And they're all still quite affordable at that particular grade. This one right here is a mid-state 66 full red. If you absolutely need the finest, this is a great example right here. It's also CAC certified as well, just based on that green bean that label that you see on there. And this one sold for $7,708.50. This is a stunning coin, one of my favorites from this week. 1920D. Now, it doesn't really show up that often in this particular state. Anything full red from the 1920s, they're quite scarce. And when one does come up, people tend to take notice. People are sitting there, they're watching the listings, they're about ready to pounce with their own bid, and come to find out their bid for $5,000 that they thought would win such a coin would not even come close. This one is an absolute gauntlet in the series. If I had told you the price of this particular coin, I'm stumbling over my words. I'm just at shock at how beautiful this coin is and what it hammered for. I tell you what, the 1909 SVDB in a mint state 65 brown or red brown has nothing on this coin. This coin is valued at about double what that one is. And that's kind of hard to kind of chalk up right here because it's so incredibly insane. But this one sold for $19,126.12. You can make the argument that this is both a registry set coin and an investable coin because these things are scarce in full red. You just don't see them out in the marketplace. And I'm happy to be able to even just talk about this one. It's so amazing. And finally, the last Lincoln. I mean, if it couldn't be just bad enough as it is, we talked about some pretty crazy coins on this list this week. How about 1919? It's a Philadelphia, pretty high mintage. This one, however, look at that grade. It's a 68 red. I mean, where are people finding these coins? They don't exactly pop up just out of nowhere, all right? But at one point or another, these were cherry-picked somewhere down the line, whether it was in a show, out of a BU roll, purchased at a show, or through a private collection, you name it. These things just don't pop up out of nowhere. All right, this is a great representative example of a high-end Lincoln cent registry set, and probably one that I wouldn't have any problem investing money into because of its grade. But this one sold for $12,937.50. Altogether, we had like $80,000 in Lincoln cents, which out of 6-7 coins, that's incomprehensible. That is, mic drop. That's what it is. Now, we do have to get back to kind of what, I consider to be reality for the Monday market report. But I mean, really, is this reality right here? 1981p Jefferson nickel, probably one of the most forgettable coins in history, date-wise. Anything from the early 80s, it's just really forgettable. But today, people are looking for just these niche coins that don't come up that often. This is an 81p PCGS graded mint state 66 full step coin. This one is also part of the Key West collection of Jefferson nickels. They had consigned with great collections to sell through that collection, and this one also is a previous LS Brown provenance. So, I mean, this one right here, if you need one, these probably come up maybe once, twice a year. That's how infrequently they show up at auction. And it shows. This one sold for $1,629. Again, not an investable coin. This is going to go into a registry set. And same with this one. Although a 1960 Philadelphia Jefferson nickel with full steps is quite the rarity, I've been often asked, should I try and invest in full steps nickels? You know, primarily anything like Mint State 64, 65, some that people would consider to be an affordable kind of grade. And I would say, no, not really. I mean, you know, these are very, very ultra modern coins. Jefferson nickels for the longest time have been plagued with this stigma that, you know, much like the Roosevelt dime had been before its redesign, or before the Jefferson's redesign, it wasn't the most interesting coin for the longest time. And now, because the registry set had come to the fore and people were really targeted and focused on finding coins to build that high level of collection, you know, that's where a lot of the desirability comes. But if you stripped away all of the layers of the registry set system, and let's say it just never existed, I would say these coins probably wouldn't have the value they did today. The 1960 is probably on par to be one of the toughest 1960s nickels to find in full steps. Just saying. Philadelphia Mint sucks really bad when it came to actual die maintenance and overall strike and all that stuff on any coin. It doesn't matter what it is. But this is also another Key West collection piece, and this one sold for $3,862.12, keeping in mind it's only a 65. So that's a lot of money for sure, but again, we are talking a very scarce date for full steps. And another one right here. This is another scarce date as well, and it shows because it's only a Mint State 63. You know, this is about as pedestrian as you can get. I think a lot of what contributed to the low numerical grade on this one is the deteriorated die strike, you know, just the weakness in the luster. There's a lot of things to really not, you know, get excited about for this coin. But this is also another Key West collection piece, and it sold for $1,039.50. If you absolutely have to settle for a date of this type for a registry set, this is the one right here. And when it sells for over $1,000 and it's a 63, that says a lot. The market is just blistering white hot for strong strike designations of coins like this. And here's a 46D. Now this one right here, I will give tremendous bonus points for its toning. Now, some people see toning as a very, very kind of like, you know, either love it or I don't, you know, it's not for everyone. But what toning does to a coin is it exemplifies originality, kind of like that original skin, you know, a coin that has been stored for, you know, an amount of decades. And that's what people love. They want to see the pure history of just the coin and how long it's been stored in a jewelry box or in an album or something to that effect. And because of that, these coins have just all of a sudden within the last 5 years just kicked down the door of popularity in the toning community. Great Collections actually consigned the Lava collection in this particular episode. We have one coin we're going to talk about from that. It's a Lava something. It's the second part of that collection, another word. But it's not Lava Ridge. No, it's not. Well, anyways, back to the coin here. This is a 67 plus. Now keep in mind, 46D, pretty easy to find in full steps. You're not going to really battle too hard to find one. I've come across many of these through my hunts over the years. However, with the combination of the toning, the high numerical grade, the full steps, this one right here is a beast for sure. And it sold for $2,306.25. The final Jefferson nickel of the week, and actually the final nickel. We didn't even get the opportunity to take a look at Buffalo nickels because this week is so stacked with just all of the modern designs. Here's a 39S. This one is also the reverse of 1940, which has the modified, just cleaner engraved steps on the reverse on Monticello. This one right here is a PCGS Mid-State 67 full steps. Again, you probably see these probably about 4 or 5 times a year, but they are so popular and people love the S Mint, the D Mint 39s, the 40s, the 38s. It's a trio of years that people really love. And then when one comes up that is as high graded as this, the bidding gets very spirited in these particular instances. This one sold for $7,605. I suppose you can't really get any more spirited than that. Again, this is a coin that's custom tailored for a registry set, and that's where all the money is being thrown around for these high-end pieces. Now, this is a coin I like right here, okay? It's a 42 good old regular business strike Mercury dime. However, I love the toning. I like that it's a Mid-State 67 star, and it's not a full bands coin, which people go gaga over in the Mercury dime set. Which also indicates strike designation. This thing's anything but. It's pretty nice and flat here on the middle set of bands, but this one has an originality all on its own. I'm happy to see something like this on here, which again shows people that you don't have to look for the full step nickels, for the full bands, for the full torches, for the full heads, things like that. You can look for stuff like this with a somewhat weak strike and be totally overjoyed to find it and then send it off for grading and come to find out that it sells for $1,012.50. This is also that lava toned collection piece that I was talking about. Here's a 41S. Now 41S and any San Francisco early 40s coin for that matter that cares about strike, these are quite tough. This one right here is a Mid-State 68 full bands. This thing is a monster with some nice originality, some nice toning to it. It's really pleasing for sure. Probably better suited for a registry set at the end of the day. At the end of the day, this coin is also part of the Sunset collection, and it's sold for $3,387.38. I just don't see myself paying that kind of money for this coin. I suppose you could get a 67 full bands if you were looking to collect of this particular short series of 1940s Mercury dime decade set or whatever you want to call it for a few $100. But again, because of how high the price had risen on this coin, this is more registry set material than anything else. Here's a 29S, just beautiful. A lot of you really do enjoy blast white coinage, and so do I. This thing looks like it was minted yesterday. That's how clean it is. It's a PCGS Mid-State 67 Plus, full split bands, and it's also got a CAC green sticker, so it's double certified, if you want to call it that. This one right here, ladies and gentlemen, sold for $7,593.75. Beautiful, beautiful coin on an otherwise tougher date. This is that kind of like Great Depression age of coins that you just don't see that often with this kind of grade. All right, so what's hot today? Well, these 2019 and 2020 West Point quarters. We have a full set of them here, ladies and gentlemen, all graded by NGC. And they got that West Point gold star thing happening on there. Pretty cool. But this is the entire 2019 West Point set in Mid-State 67. You have the Lowell National Park. You got the War in the Pacific National Park. You got the American Memorial Park. You also have the San Antonio Missions and the River of No Return, right? That's the last one, I believe. Yeah, all 4 of them clearly displayed, or all 5 of them rather, displayed here in this particular listing. There are the reverse pictures of the coins. Again, now keep in mind, these are NGC graded. It would be a much different story if these were PCGS graded. The price would be probably double or maybe even 2.5 times what this one sold for. But these things have been getting scooped up in the marketplace, graded by both NGC and PCGS. This 5-coin set sold for $1,011.38. Personally, I would be happy with this lot. And we do have a couple quarters to kind of end it off on a high note, and we mean high. My goodness. 1953S is just a sight to behold. This is probably my favorite toned coin of the week. I mean, it looks like the sun is setting on the obverse of the coin. And you do have a little bit of original toning on the reverse as well. Some aqua, some greens in there, a little bit of purple. It's quite stunning. And so is the grade. PCGS, gold labeled, mint state 68. It's top notch for sure. Definitely a registry set. I know toning really does add a little bit of a premium to the coins, and in some cases it adds a huge premium. But for $5,400, you really have to ask the question: wouldn't you rather just find one, grade it, and then sell it and make that kind of money, rather than buying it and feeling like you got a huge value? The value for these coins, again, I cannot stress enough, is right to the registry set people that own these, that want to build a high-profile set with all the finest coins. This is the type of stuff they put in there. And then finally, this is the just culmination of any registry set talk from today's video. How about a 43D Washington quarter with some toning? It's got that original kind of like white skin to it. That's just years of oxidation that hadn't quite toned into the next color. It's a PCGS Mint State 68, tougher than it sounds. Denver minted coins are generally well struck, so this one does look the part. And, well, you can't really argue with $10,687.50. I was at a loss for words. I didn't even know what to say about this coin. In my personal expectation, I talk about modern coins because that's what my crowd loves. People love coins that's obtainable to them. You know, I want to be able to know that I could go to a coin shop and know that there are high-graded Washington quarters, that there are high-graded Merc dimes, Roosevelt dimes, Lincoln cents, Jefferson nickels. You could cherry-pick full steps because generally a lot of dealers don't give a hoot about full step designation nickels. And people love it. And that's why I talk a lot about these modern coins. And that's why for, 12 years, that there has been a heavy emphasis on modern coins, because these are still the most obtainable pieces to each and every single one of you every day. You go out, you spend $10 on the coin with the prospect that it could be worth hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. I mean, these are all real coins with value. And now that we have a targeted audience that's willing to pay up for them, that's the registry set participants in all this, that's where it's really easy to take advantage. All right. And that's why I really love doing the market reports, because it shows you in kind of like this built-in square of generally where the market is for these. Are people, after so many years of me talking about registry set coins, are people tired of buying them? Not even. I mean, it couldn't be any more stronger. And the more that I've talked about them, I've come to see that more people have gone into building a registry set. It's a very deep pool of people that's actually participating in it. And not just for the high-end coins, they're also doing some of the lower-end stuff, low-ball coins like Poors and Fairs and About Goods and all those type of coins as well. So, I mean, there's a lot to love here. And, whatever your stance is on grading companies, they are here to stay, and they're going to continue doing their thing. And as long as raw coins are continuing to be found in collections, at coin shops, at shows, that people or dealers just don't care about, this is where you step in and then you take the microphone and you speak loudly for these coins. I know that sounds corny and cheesy, but hey, that's how we're going to end up the Monday market report for the week ending October 3rd. Welcome to October, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and get our lion's share throughout the next 2.5, 3 months as we begin to see just a booming coin market for moderns. I'm your host, Sean, with BlueRidgeSilverhound. That's going to go ahead and do it today, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys are on your way out for work on Monday, yeah, have a wonderful day. Don't work so hard. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Hit that bell for instant notification. Hit the dislike button if you don't like anything today. And that's it. Coinaholics, we are discovering together. Thank you for your time. You guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you on the next coin video. So long.